Welcome to the Exit Strategy, your no bullshit guide to divorce with the experienced attorneys from New Direction Family Law. Unfiltered discussions to help you move from victim to victorious and from bitter to better.
Hello, everybody out there listening. My name is Sarah Hink. I'm one of the lawyers, partners of New Direction Family Law. We do not have Elizabeth with us today. We are missing her, but she is busy with all sorts of trial stuff and being a great attorney. We do have our lovely Cam joining us once again, of course, to keep us on track, keep us on topic, keep us flowing. And then we have a man, Matt Jackson, attorney from New Direction, attorney at law, New Direction Family Law. He joined our firm back in July, and we are so happy to have him. He has how much experience practicing?
17 years.
17 years.
Yeah.
It's a really long time.
It is a long time. Yeah.
So we're happy to have his knowledge, his brain with us. And today we have a great topic that we've slightly covered before, I think, but it's always something that comes up with a lot of our new cases. We're one of the few states that still recognize it, alienation of affection and criminal conversation.
Yeah.
So,
And with Matt's experience too, I realized I was updating some stuff on the website. With your 17 years, that makes us collectively at 100.
Oh.
a centurion.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you
That's
really
great.
pushed us over the edge.
Well, good.
Yeah. Yes. But so
Okay.
talk about experience. I have been on both sides of alienation cases as an attorney, not as a party.
Just to
clarify. But I've never actually gone all the way to trial. So I've always settled all those. But Matt, you've actually had a jury trial.
I did. Yeah.
Yes, so how did that
I didn't expect it to go that far either. You know,
You usually don't.
you usually don't. For us, they're usually filed as kind of like a side action or something that's going on the side. I don't want to say for leverage, but a lot of times it's for leverage.
Yeah.
A lot of times you may not have any intent of going all the way through with it, but it's to put, if you're representing one spouse, the other spouse has a significant other or a paramour that they obviously like a lot to, in their marriage for or not see their kids for.
Yeah.
Then if you start, pushing that button or putting pressure on them, they may be more willing to settle.
Right. And these days, since we moved to electronic filing, is so easy to find court documents out there, which even myself, I have to stop in some cases and be like, oh, before we file this, just FYI, people Google your name and your court documents are going to pop up now. That wasn't the case in the past. Like you would have, everything was still public record, but you had to
You had to go get it.
Yeah, go down to the clerk's office, check out the paper file. Like it was a whole process. But now people can just Google and see it.
So the dirty laundry is getting out there a little bit.
Yeah, it's real bad. And not just in these kind of cases, but like custody cases. Like, dude, your kid's going to read that eventually one day. Or if they're in high school, their friends are going to see it.
Yeah.
But I digress. But it's bigger leverage now because it's going to be so public.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about like the publicity part of it as being the leverage. I'm more like, I think I assumed it was more just like pressure or stress, for the other party. So.
I think that's where, when we're doing it, that's what we have in mind is if we're going to go to court, we're going to go to court there. I don't want to sound like it's not a good faith lawsuit because it is, but everything's part of a deal but it does come out fast. If there was one filed against the Panthers receiver a couple months ago.
I missed that.
Steve Smith, y'all know Steve
I
Smith.
remember. I know
of
Steve
course.
Smith.
Yeah, Miss Jersey
Smitty.
So he had one filed against him a few months ago in Mecklenburg County. And it was, you could get it just like that off the internet. And
Then what happened to it? Was it dismissed?
I don't know what's happened to it.
There was that
it was very detailed, though, I can tell you that.
Yeah. There was that one with the politicians.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. That was
the speaker. No, I don't want to it was a Republican politician messing around with a woman, and Lassiter was the guy's name that filed it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We were really vague on that one, but that was big when it came out. I don't remember it. So much has happened since those whatever months,
Yeah.
But for the listeners, let's break down the difference here. We have alienation of affection, which is one claim, and criminal conversation. And typically you file them together, but they're different in essence of what you have to prove. So
what's the difference?
What's the difference, Matt?
All right. So criminal conversation is just the act of having sex with someone else's spouse. So it's just that alienation's a little more romantic. It's
Okay.
that you're saying the theory is that some third parties alienated a person from their spouse. It could also be their child. It could be any kind of family relationship. It just doesn't have to be spouses. That somebody's, done something wrong and as a result has alienated, a relationship, one person from the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
but for that alienation, they would still be in love and happy and married.
I see.
So it's like this third party
you
came
influenced.
into, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So criminal conversation is just like, banging. So you had
Yes.
sex.
What about if you're a swinger?
And maybe
Is
other
criminal
things, too. I
conversation
don't
still
know.
a thing?
Well, there's defenses to both. One of
Sure.
them is condonation. So like you condone it, you're okay with it, it's chill. So that's
okay.
a swinger situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then forgiveness, like you found out, you stayed in the marriage, you went to marriage counseling, and you stayed married for another 5 years. So in that case, you if people come in, they say, yes, well, they stepped out, had an affair like 5 years ago. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you've been together since then.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
forgiveness.
Can't use that. Yeah.
Connivance. Is that one? Connivance?
don't
Did I make
think
that
so.
word up?
Yes.
Can we cuss on here?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, good. I guess you wouldn't have had me on here if we couldn't cuss.
But like alienation is there's just more involved. So obviously criminal conversation, I don't even think you have to show that you separated. It's just you had sex. These are
That's right.
not the same in these other states. Like I said, we're one of 5 states that still has it.
Okay.
And they're more expensive lawsuits because you hear Matt talk about how you had to go to trial. You have a jury, so they'll select a jury. You had to go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's very costly, very expensive.
Yeah.
There's usually depositions. And when you talk about, okay, well, what are you going to gain from this? So if you're the one pursuing it, like my husband left me, Judy is the one to blame, and I go and sue Judy. Does Judy have any money for me to get? I don't know. So like, what are you going to recover?
Yeah.
Then as far as quantifying what you're going to recover possibly from the jury, look at your damages.
Yeah.
So damages could be, loss of income from your spouse. Think about that. You're separated and now you don't have them supplementing your income, paying your bills, loss of property. Then there's the like therapy bills. So the actual like damages,
Emotional damage.
and then like the punitive, you can go 3 times as much as actual damages.
Yeah, it goes up to 250. It's either 3 times actual or 250, whichever's greater.
Yeah.
250 million?
Thousand.
Oh, okay.
So there have been some big cases in North Carolina where people got millions in an award.
You had a big case, right?
I thought it was pretty decent. I was pretty happy. It wasn't like these ones you see in the newspaper. I remember I saw one, I think the last name was Per Year. This guy owned a bunch of like truck or gas or trucking or something. And the paramour was sued. It was like $50 million. A lot of those you see though is where the paramour just doesn't show up or defend it. And so they just rubber stamp and give them what number they want. And those people don't have money.
Yeah, so
at all. So,
might not ever get
why
50
even?
million.
yeah, it's just therapeutic, I think, for some people to, hey, you got this judgment hanging over you for 10 or 20 years.
Yep.
Good luck.
When people come in to have a consult with me about these claims, I usually take the position of, it's expensive to pursue it. What are you going to gain from it? Let's look at this person's
the juice worth the squeeze.
Yeah, like do you want to take this money and like go on a fabulous vacation and like heal that way? Most people, no, fuck them,
Yeah.
And they're just like living in this state of just, poison and anger. And I get it.
Or the people that come in that are plaintiffs, and I'm not trying to be one way about it, but a lot of them in this circumstance are men. They've done probably some fucked up shit like during their marriage or done something that they weren't great, and you have to tell them like everything you've done as a spouse is going to come into play here because they're going to say he did this and that and he was a horrible person. And then,
Yeah.
you
and
have
while
to weigh
like,
that as well.
that's not like a true defense to it, it does persuade the jury.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been plenty of cases too on the opposite side of these $1 million awards where the jury says, yeah, I do find that, Judy alienated Sarah from her husband, but Sarah's kind of a bitch. And I think that this was coming down the line and like you could see it. So Judy has to pay Sarah $1, you know.
Like we recognize that she was at fault, but we're not going to award.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
You have to make sure you put on your damages too, so you can try to get money. If you don't put on damages, then you might just get $1.
Yeah.
So there's make sure you get a good attorney, but it's messy, it's long. I mean, it takes years typically.
And I mean, damages can be just, you know, very, it could just be what you would call pain and suffering, you know, just, this was a really tough thing for someone to go through. So.
And it has to be. Like,
in the circumstances, you know, certainly could be.
Yeah. But remember, you're suing the third party. You're not suing your ex. So who are you really mad at?
Right.
But if there's money to be had out there, I don't know. I think it's honestly for wealthy people on both sides, like the one pursuing it. And then I've represented plenty of defendants too in these cases. And that's always, you know, I always have their back too. You're your attorney. You're going to have your client's back on either side. And looking at the actual like facts of the case and what's shaken out since then.
Mm-hmm. Hi there, it's Cam with New Direction Family Law. And if you find yourself facing or considering separation and divorce, you may realize that determining who gets what property can be one of the more complicated and confusing issues. It's so important that you're represented by an experienced family law attorney who knows marital property law and will advocate for your best interest. New Direction Family Law has a combined 80 years of experience protecting the rights of our clients and their assets. When an amicable arrangement can't be reached, we aggressively advocate, we support, and we educate our clients to achieve the best possible outcomes. When you're ready, schedule an initial consultation by calling 919-719-3470 on our website at newdirectionfamilylaw.com or click the link in the episode description. We've got your assets covered. You said earlier, it's not always spouses, right? It can be... Like,
it can be like a, mother-in-law.
Right. How are you calculating damages on something like that? Or like, what kind of things are you looking at?
It's still if you have to separate for the alienation of affection, like your marriage has to end.
Oh, okay.
And you have to show, another thing you have to show is that there was love existing at the time of the alienation. So that's a defense to it too, is like, we were in a loveless marriage. We didn't have sex. So you didn't have sex for a year. How are you going to blame Judy for coming in and, ruining it?
Right.
And, satisfying some needs. So, I mean, with a mother-in-law, same kind of situation. I show that you're happy, and maybe the mother-in-law keeps telling her son, like, oh, you got to leave Sarah. Like, she is terrible. Your dad would never approve of this. Go meet my friend Judy. Like, really just coming down hard on the relationship.
Right.
And then it'd be the same, like, loss of income, loss of...
Okay, I see.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. There's some good dynamics to it.
Yeah.
And juicy details, of course. I love it when those ones get filed and I just read it. And I'm like, oh, scandalous.
Go read the Steve Smith one.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely go be nosy and check that out.
Yes.
One of the first consults I was learning about family law was alienation of affection. And I thought it was very interesting when I said it, heard kind of how we go about figuring out if this is a thing.
No, it's not really a law that I support personally. I think it's unconstitutional. I think it stems from, look at Matt giggling over here. It stems from
take that case though, if they.
Well, yes, but I have for the defendant gone and argued constitutional protections in trial court, and they just kind of laughed at me. But that's okay. You got to be there. You got to preserve it for appeal. Because one day, I mean, there's the reason why there's only 5 states that have this, and it used to be on the books at almost all of them, because it was taken off the books for being unconstitutional, and it stems from back in the day women being like chattel. So if a man comes and steals your wife, he needs to pay you for her. So if you think about it that way, I'm very not a big fan. No, people are not property. And also, it's like involuntary servitude. Like, you cannot take my husband because he has to serve me, and so you need to return him. Kind of thinking. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can come at it.
Right.
But so far, the courts in North Carolina keep upholding it.
It's probably because women file so many of them, so it kind of undercuts that history.
Men file them clearly too. I think
they do. I know.
Yes.
There's
I'm unequal.
It's
women
very
paramours.
It's a very two-way street these days.
Yeah.
As far as who gets to file and who gets to collect. And
I've definitely had men and women equally on these.
And I want to say when I was in law school, we were told that there was maybe 3 states that had alienation. And so I feel like there's 5 now, or maybe even 7. I thought
maybe there's 4.
Like I feel like maybe they're coming back.
This is usually when Joe starts Googling for us, and he just chimes in with the right answer.
We don't know the law in every state.
No,
Joe, damn.
This is when we talk about our what's it called? Notice to people listening that we only are licensed to practice in North Carolina.
Only North Carolina is what we're talking about.
That's
we
right.
do know there's other states that have it. We don't know what they are.
Yeah.
And there's been some interesting cases about jurisdiction issues. So if someone lives out of state where, but they alienated a relationship here in North Carolina, can you sue them? Well, there has to be contact with the state somehow. And there's been some cases where I think that like phone calls are enough. Sex, just one sex act in North Carolina is enough.
Okay.
It's that long arm statute.
Okay.
To take
it's
jurisdiction.
Tricky. So like you really have to sit down with it. And a judge can say, trip to the beach in North Carolina, not good enough. And another judge may, at a motion to dismiss, say that is good enough. It's really tricky. It's really something you have to look at. Did this really happen here in the view of the court? Did the tort happen in North Carolina? Certainly if you had sex in the state, criminal conversation should be boom.
Yeah.
On there. But the alienation, if you're meeting in California and somebody lives here and somebody lives in Texas or something, it's really fact specific. You have to really get what evidence you can out, which is the tricky part of the prosecuting the case, is getting the evidence before they do a motion to dismiss. Because if you can't prove it happened here, or you can't prove, they want to claim like it's marital communication, so it's privilege, so she confessed. I've seen it go both ways on that. There's a lot of ways it can turn.
Yeah,
like nuances and
for sure.
None of them are slam dunks.
Regardless, this is not an estate to run away and have an affair in from other states.
No, it is not. It's like
North Carolina is not for lovers. I don't know about Virginia, but I think Virginia might be safe.
Not for illicit lovers.
Not for illicit lovers.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, but
please do.
Yeah, so I mean, I still do counsel on the plaintiff side. Just the downfall to pursuing these claims, that they are expensive and stressful, time consuming, and if you have children, like maybe just focus on them. I try to give them just advice from being in it and seeing it from an attorney standpoint, how it can affect people.
Yeah, you guys have seen all the ways this plays out, and it seems tricky at best.
Yeah. Then once you even, like the cases that I settle for the plaintiff and you get some money, like, do you really feel vindicated?
Yeah.
To some degree, maybe. Yeah. But only time can tell, I guess.
Yeah.
And for the defendants who end up settling, it's just rough day.
Yes. Tough day at the office.
Mistakes were made. A lot of them at the office. A lot of cases stem from inner office, relationships developing and progressing and ruining marriages, I guess.
That's a topic for a totally different podcast, I think. But why is it always the office or somebody and their client? Or
it's like, where are you going to meet a third person?
Yeah, it's just
and that's a good point. I spend a lot of my time.
Yeah, it's just about being around the other person.
I sound like online
proximity.
Getting to most people get in accidents like 5 miles from their house because that's where they're at most of the time. So you're gonna bang somebody from your work because that's who you're around all the time.
Exact same situation.
Yeah.
Get real comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Food for thought.
So, I mean, they're very nuanced, like Matt said. You can get some money. You can just end up losing a ton of money by pursuing it. You can lose money by being on the other side of it. There's the leverage. You can put something in a separation agreement or a contract waiving your right to sue third parties. So like that's kind of what you're buying in those situations where you're settling and like, okay, you want more than 50% of the assets? No. Oh, but you'll sign a waiver so you won't sue my new boyfriend. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. A lot of times people are like, no, I don't care.
Let them. Don't care.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But some people do care about their new their new girlfriend or boyfriend.
It's such pure love.
It is, yeah.
Until you're doing
pure.
Until you're doing
They're
that divorce,
soulmates.
and then you're conflicted out, and you're like, okay, we have to go get a different attorney now.
Done this more than once.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, well,
yeah. If you have questions out there, I don't know if Joe ever found the answer. Oh, look, he's six states. Name them in alphabetical order.
Hawaii, North Carolina, Mississippi, New Mexico, South Dakota, Utah.
Boom. Perfect. Thanks, Joe.
wait,
And
Utah?
Utah.
That one is the most surprising, I think. Is it? Because don't they have polygamy there?
I don't think the polygamy is legal. No.
I bet it's there. But
It's
yeah,
certainly
it's probably
there.
not legal. But if you had polygamy, though, then you definitely need that law
What
in
state
place.
is the sister wives thing happening?
It's Utah.
in?
You're thinking of Utah. But,
Yeah.
I think that they just kind of turn their head at it.
But you would definitely want these causes of action in place. If you got 5 wives,
So
Yeah.
it's a lot to keep up with. Yeah.
So like 5 times the damages.
Utah's an interesting state. They're also the biggest receiver of like Medicaid and or
Utah
Medicare. Oh yeah, because think about all those children that the wives don't work. There's so many of them, so the government supports them.
I didn't know that.
That's a different topic.
I was looking, though.
Yeah.
Connivance is a defense.
Tell me more.
And this is, I don't know if you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
There's something called a frame bank where you frame somebody having sex. That would be a connivance issue where they somehow the person suing for alienation has played some part in setting this up or some what have you. I don't know.
I bet that does happen.
Like, I've heard, I've never seen this, but I've heard like some guys hiring these like male model types to like go after their wife to like get them to do something so they can divorce them with no
Don't have to
alimony.
pay alimony.
Never seen it in person or anything, but
Sneaky.
What did we look
Sneaky.
for? I guess payments to the third hot body.
I guess so. How about an unrealistic, situation that happens to you? I don't know.
I don't know. Interesting.
Oh, I think she was asking, like, what are we looking for as attorneys to see if this? And
I was talking like,
and you're like,
if you're at the bar, how could you tell if their interest is legitimate or not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was trying to think like, how do I find this paid off person?
yeah,
Movement of money, maybe.
I don't know because it's sketchy. I had a consult at some point in the past where the lady's like, this guy's sending me Facebook messages about how we met up or whatever, and she's never heard from the guy. So I mean, I would not put it past. There's people out there doing, connivance.
Yeah.
That are framing people.
I mean, we've had a case with fake phone calls using AI.
yep.
And you wouldn't catch
Really?
it. An attorney wouldn't catch it.
Yeah.
It's really difficult stuff that people
It's
can
scary.
manipulate out there.
Yeah, it is.
So
Wow. Ain't that some
it is.
Ain't that some shit? Thanks for listening. Don't forget to leave us a review. You can visit us online at newdirectionfamilylaw.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at the Exit Strategy _podcast or email us at exitstrategy@newdirectionfamilylaw.com. We'll be back next week with more no bullshit content about life, divorce, parenting, relationships, and everything in between.